Okay. On the occasion of the 75th Constitution Day, it is my absolute honor and pride to be recording this video on the preamble of the Indian Constitution. So, why is it that 26th of November is celebrated as the Constitution Day? That is the first thing, that we have to understand. And when we look at 26th November as the date, that is today's 26th November 2024, the 75th Constitution Day, we have to look at the preamble for this date. I'm just reading it out for you once. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation in our Constituent Assembly on this 26th day of November 1949. We hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. So, this is the date when the Constitution was adopted. This is the date when the Constitution was adopted. Who adopted the Constitution? We the people. We the people adopted the Constitution. So the source of the Constitution vests the power, all the power vests in the people. And when we look at this date, we may wonder then what is 26th of January, right? So we also have 26th of January, which is celebrated as the Republic Day, Ganatantra Divas. This is Constitution Day, Samvidhan Divas. And this is your Republic Day. So the idea to choose 26th January was because historically we had the Purna Swaraj on 26th of January in the year 1930, which was a declaration for complete, a resolution for complete independence, Purna Swaraj, which is why the makers of the constitution chose this date, and this is the date when constitution came in force. So the constitution was adopted on this date, 26th November, but it came in force only on 26th January 1950. Right? And the date was chosen because 1930, 26 January was an auspicious date because complete freedom, complete independence was declared on that date. So this is to just give you a context as to what this Constitution Day is. Now, what is the preamble? That is a question. We are saying understanding the preamble. So preamble is also called as, it has many names. It is also referred to as the mini constitution. Mini constitution. Why? Because it gives you an idea about the goals of the constitution, about the policy, the broad policy, right? So if I have to read the mind of the framer of the constitution, it is the key to the constitution. So this gives you a broad glimpse about what the constitution is. Our constitution is the largest in the world. And this preamble is a gateway, it's a reflection, it's a key to unlock that document, right? It starts with we the people, as I've already told you, the source of the power in the constitution rests with the people. This is taken from the Constitution of USA. So Constitution of USA also has similar wordings. Then it says, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Now, this is something on which I will spend a little time to explain this. What are these terms and what do they mean? So we all know what sovereign means. Sovereign means we are completely independent. We take our decisions as a country on our own. We are not relying on any external power. No other country interferes in our affairs, and no other country is above India. So you would see a lot of colonial imprints. So, for example, I remember in the Indian Evidence Act. Now, of course, it is Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, but in the Indian Evidence Act, there were certain sections which still used words like Her Majesty and referred to the Queen and the Parliament of England. Why do we have to do that? We are now completely independent and sovereign. We have our own parliament, our own government, which is a parliamentary democracy. So, this is the meaning of sovereign. Then you have socialist. Now, this is a slightly uh, it's difficult to define this word basically, but I will use the definition which was used by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has explained this in various judgments, and in some judgment, it has said that socialism is a combination of Marxism and Gandhian socialism. So the tilt is towards Gandhian socialism, right? Combination of both Marxism, because Marx was the thinker behind this, and Gandhian socialism would speak about social justice. It would talk about social justice in all aspects. It would talk about ideas such as reducing inequality of income. It would talk about reaching, the benefits should reach to all sections of the society, of the government schemes, etc. Then we have this word secular, right? Secular. Secular means that all religions, this is related to religions, and all religions are equal. And each religion has to be respected. And the state has no religion. State का यानी कि government का कोई भी religion नहीं हो सकता. That is the meaning of secular. So this is very different from the Western concept. West में कैसा है? There is a divide between church. So there is a church and there is state. There is a divide. This is because there were dark ages, so there's history behind this. That when they had enlightenment and all that, so they came up that this is the Western notion of secularism, but that is not the case in India. Here, all religions can be practiced, and it is requisite that each religion is equally respected, and the state has no religion of its own. And the Supreme Court has also explained this as Sarva Dharma Sambhav. This was the phrase used by Supreme Court to explain the concept, all religions are possible, to explain the concept of secularism. Then we say democratic. We are a democratic country. Elections hote hain. Right now, only the Maharashtra elections concluded. So it is a government of the people, for the people, by the people. The famous definition of Abraham Lincoln. It's a parliamentary democracy. And republic means that we don't have any king, like King Charles in England. We don't have any king. We don't have any monarch. We have a president. We have a president who is elected. And it can be any person. There is no bloodline that fits. Right? So, this is what these specific words mean. So it is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and republic state. Just to also add here that these two words, secular and socialist, these two words, along with these two words, integrity and integrity, this all these three words were added in the 42nd Amendment to the Constitution. They were not a part of the Constitution originally. इनको बाद में add किया है by virtue of the 42nd Amendment. So I thought I will just bring this, to your notice. Then we are looking at other ideas. The idea of justice has been borrowed from the Russian Constitution. And the idea of liberty, equality, as well as fraternity originally has been taken from the Constitution of France, the French Constitution 1791. Right? Justice in its all dimensions, social, economic, as well as political, Liberty of thought. Liberty here obviously means freedom. It is of thought, to be able to think, to be able to express yourselves, belief, faith, and worship. Right now, faith and worship are related to religion, but belief can be any belief. So, for example, in your belief, this lecture may not be helpful. If you're thinking that way, this is not related to any religion, but it is related to, this lecture, and you're free to believe so, right? And you may think so, and you may also express this somewhere in the comment section, maybe. So, this is the idea of liberty. This is the freedom that we have as a part of being a part of, this democracy. Then we also have equality of status and of opportunity. Right now, our constitution also provides, if you see Article 14, it also talks about equal protection, which is borrowed from this, again, UK and US influence respectively, which means at a very broader level, it is talking about societal equality, right? So these are the ideas based on which the preamble reflects the larger goals, the larger objectives, and the policy of our constitution, and to promote among them all fraternity. Fraternity means what? It means brotherhood, universal brother. The feeling of commonality, the feeling of brotherhood. This is also the ultimate. If you see, and to promote them also, you're having justice, liberty, equality, and to promote them also. It's showing in a way that you're ultimately leading to this fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. So, dignity, again, it's a large spectrum of rights because dignity itself includes so many facets of equality, to be able to express yourself, to be able to, as the Supreme Court has said, right to life and personal liberty also. So combination of those articles would ensure that dignity is maintained at an individual level. And at the societal level, at the national level, at the level of the nation, you have unity and integrity, which is being maintained in our Constituent Assembly. This 26th day of November, I've already explained this to you, the significance of this date, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves. Give to ourselves means what? It's the people only, the people of India. We are the ones who have given to ourselves this constitution. So this is the text, right? And I've told you the constitution has been amended only once. एक ही बार amend हुआ है, इसके बाद नहीं हुआ है. Whether it can be amended, answer is yes. So this position of law is settled. I will not go into much of the judgments, but the two questions, and landmark judgments on this. One is कि क्या ये constitution, the जो preamble है, the one which we are reading right now, is it a part of the Constitution? So answer is yes. Preamble is a part of the Constitution. This was held in Kesav Nanda Bharti case. You just need to Google this. If you are a law student, you would have already heard this case. And the other one, which I was particularly speaking about, if an amendment is possible. So the answer to that is also yes, amendment is possible. And this was held in Minerva Mills. This is a 1980 Supreme Court judgment. Minerva Mills. So it can be amended also, and it is a part of the Constitution. But please understand this, being a part of the Constitution does not make it equivalent to your fundamental rights, etc. Because ultimately, if you want to enforce those rights, so for example, you can't take the idea of justice over here and liberty over here and equality and go to courts and seek enforcement. That is not possible. Of course, it is a policy guidance. So the court can use it in its judgments to interpret what the Constitution actually implies. So it has an interpretative value, but the text of it cannot be taken as an enforcement mechanism. So you have to, if you're seeking equality, for example, you have to go on Article 14. You can't use preamble, the phrase over here, equality of status and of opportunity. rather you would have Article 14. But in any case, it is a reflection of the Constitution only. So all your fundamental rights, your directive principles, it's a reflection of that part 3 and part 4. So it goes hand in hand. They are complementary in nature. I hope this helps in understanding the preamble, particularly if you're not from law background. I would look forward to your feedback. I hope I was not too technical in explaining this, but I was really keen to record this because, as I said, it is the 75th Constitution Day, and it's such an honor to be able to put this lecture out. I have delivered several sessions in the previous Constitution days at different colleges, but this is the first time I'm putting a video so that it remains over here and it more and more students can benefit. Thank you so much.